Hi there, I'm Mitch Nicolas, and I'd like to welcome you to this free online training series entitled Breakthrough Fear and Self Doubt so you can finally start homeschooling with confidence. So, I'm guessing you're here for several reasons. Number one is you want to start homeschooling and you need some guidance on how to actually begin homeschooling. Number two, you want to start homeschooling and you've done your research, you have a lot of resources on your hands, but you still feel stuck with fear and self-doubt and you are wondering whether you can actually do this. And maybe you're also here, maybe you're already homeschooling, but you still feel that fear and self-doubt and you want to have the confidence moving forward. So, wherever you are in this spectrum, I'm glad you're here and I welcome you to this free online training series. So, what is homeschool anyway? Is it just school at home that what you have in school you bring it all home? Well, there, but there's more to it than that. Homeschooling is a way of educating your child outside the usual public or private school system. And it's usually progressive in nature, meaning you go with the flow, with the pace of your child. And it is not just confined to the home. So the general term is homeschool, but actually learning happens not just in the home, but anywhere and everywhere, as you will see later on as I continue my training or this discussion. So you might be noticing I'm just looking down, so I have my notes here because I don't want to miss out on anything. So if I'm just looking down and up, I apologize, but I just don't want you to miss out on what this training is all about, and I don't want to miss out also on what I have prepared. Okay, so before we continue, before we begin with before I discuss the joys of homeschooling, I want us first to engage our imagination, okay? So just imagine. Imagine yourself, imagine your child. Imagine yourselves in your ideal homeschool setting. Okay, just imagine. Okay, it might be a room full of books and crayons and arts and crafts where you can really explore your creativity, your child's creativity. Or it might be you and your child exploring the great outdoors. Maybe you are in the midst of nature. Or it may just be in your garden, where you and your little one are monitoring the growth of some seedlings. So now I want you to imagine your conversations and your interactions with your child. Like, what might you be talking about? Or is your child constantly asking, why? Why is it like this? What does that mean? Or maybe you are just discovering something new. Are you having aha moments with your child? Are you exploring and having fun? Are you having fun creating and just talking about the things you are making? Or are you enjoying the books that you are reading together? Is there laughter as you converse, as you interact with one another? Imagine these things. Now imagine the look in your child's eyes when he discovers something new. Maybe so excited. Wow, I discovered this is how it works. Or the excitement in your daughter's eyes or in your daughter's voice when she realizes she can actually read a word. Maybe she's saying, Mama, I can read. I can read this book. I've noticed this word. Imagine also the joy that you feel when you witness these developments. Can you just imagine what are you feeling right now seeing all these? Isn't that great? With all these scenes in your mind, don't you just feel such joy welling up within you? This can truly be a reality, even if it's not your reality yet. It can be. And it's true that any mom would rejoice upon seeing how happy her child is, and to be assured that her child is in a safe, caring, and nurturing environment. As parents, I'm sure we only want the best for our kids, and so we also like to pass on our values to them. Of course, we want to protect them from the negative and harsh realities of the outside world, particularly things like bullying, and, all these negative and these bad influences. And one of the best ways to do this is by homeschooling them. Okay, so here's a disclaimer. Homeschooling is not for everyone. Okay, not every parent might have that desire to homeschool their child or may sense a calling to homeschool. And this they may have various reasons for it, and that's fine. Not everyone is really for homeschool, but if you feel in your heart, you have a desire in your heart to homeschool, I encourage you to really pray through it and see God's guidance, because this could just be a God inspired nudge. So I encourage you to follow through and pray through it, because this just might be the Lord pushing you to homeschool. Okay, so before we continue, let me just introduce myself. My name is Mitch Nicolas, and I've been homeschooling for over 10 years now. Actually, even before my son was born, we were already very intentional, my husband and I, about homeschooling our son, which is why I say we've been homeschooling for over 10 years, because my son is 11 years old. Before he was even born, we intended to homeschool him. The main reason being that my husband and I really wanted to pass on our faith and our values to our son in a more proactive way. And so we decided that homeschooling was for us. Plus, our lifestyle is one of commuting. So my husband and I live a commuter lifestyle. To this day, we travel back and forth from city to province, and homeschooling was and still is the best option for us, for our son, in this season of our lives. And so during the earlier years, in our starting years, homeschooling was very fluid, unstructured. There was lots of playtime, read aloud, singing, fun, and games. And now my son is 11 years old, and we still have a lot of fun. We still have playtime. And through the years, he has grown to love a variety of things. He loves music, he likes coding, and he loves reading, among other things. And um, now that, after several years of homeschooling, we see that what we intended at the beginning, our purpose of passing on our faith, our values, among other things, is slowly being fulfilled. Our homeschool is not perfect, and it may never be perfect, but what we intended, our purpose, is slowly being fulfilled even as we see our son learning and enjoying learning. So we've discovered that there's so much more in homeschooling. So now I'd like to share with you the joys of homeschooling. There are lots of joys, and here I outlined 10. Okay, that's a lot. There's still so much more, but for now, let me just outline 10 joys of homeschooling. So, number one is you get to develop a strong bond with your child. Yeah, I put this as number one, more than the learning, because it's really about relationship, okay? And because you get to spend so much time together, of course, you strengthen your relationship with your child, with each other, through communication, through shared activities, and of course, you get to have lots of fun with your child. And you create memories. You create wonderful memories with your child. And what happens when you nurture this relationship? You also provide a sense of security and an atmosphere of acceptance for your child. And when your child senses this, he feels secure. And I don't know exactly who said this, but they say that love is spelled Time. Times. When you spend more time with your child feels more secure. Okay, so that's number one, the number one joy of homeschooling. Number two is you get to discover more of who your child is. Again, because you spend so much time with your child, you realize, hey, this is how my child is pala. This is his personality. You discover how God wired your child. You realize that she has these interests. You realize what lights him up and what he dislikes. You get to know more of those, the quirks, and it is just fun to discover like how your child is. And if you have multiple kids, you get to realize, oh, how different also your children are. So this is another joy to see how each and every child is unique. Okay, number 3, you get to instill in your child a love of learning. So in homeschooling, you get to create an environment conducive to learning where your child can freely explore and figure things out. So you realize, wow, it's just so much fun to learn, and learning is not so much about grades for the sake of grades. Nako, you have to do this, you have to study this because you have to get high grades, you have to pass this test. No, you're instilling more a love of learning. You're not stifling the creativity and the love of learning of your child. And so learning becomes so enjoyable. The mere enjoyment of discovering something new, or you enjoy just creating something, or you enjoy practicing what you have learned. You're bringing theory into practice. Okay, number 4 joy of homeschooling is you get to learn with your child. Yeah, so it's not just your child who is learning, but you, or the primary teacher, you get to learn as well. And how? Because as a main teacher, you'll be the first one to explore the resources for your child. So you get to learn. Consider this also continuing education for you. Okay, next is your child will also share his or her learnings with you. You'll discover and realize your child also learns and will love to share this with you. So you learn also from your child. And this is one of the great things that you don't have to pretend to know everything. You can just say, you know what, if your child starts to ask you, how do you do this, or what's this all about? You don't have to pretend to say that you know it. You can just say, wait, we can learn together. Why don't we explore it together? So you get to learn as well. Okay, so that's number 3. Oh, sorry, number 4. You get to learn with your child. Number 5 is you have the freedom and flexibility to choose what's best for your child and your family given your situation. So this is freedom and flexibility. So like us, as I said, we live a commuter lifestyle and we travel back and forth. So there is that freedom and flexibility to learn anywhere where we are. We don't have to feel stuck now. Oh, we can't travel back and forth because we just have to be in a certain place all the time. No, because our lifestyle calls for this travel. Our homeschool fits into our lifestyle instead of our life fitting into the school. Gets? Okay, so there is freedom also with a schedule. You can choose the schedule of learning for your child. You can choose, is it going to be the whole day? Is it going to be just in the morning or in the afternoon? I've also read about other homeschool families who do it in the evenings because the parents are working. Are you going to have breaks? How long will your breaks be? How long will your homeschooling be? Will it just be short pockets of time, or will it be prolonged periods? So that's with the schedule. Also, you have the freedom and flexibility to choose the curriculum, the learning resources for your child. Are you going to go with a set curriculum? Are you going to choose the resources? Are you going to choose online resources? Are you going to go out? You also have the freedom how you teach. So it's not just about textbooks. It doesn't have to be just on the desk. You can be moving around. You can go outside, teach while walking. You can go on field trips. You can have not just you, but other people join you and help teach your child. There's just so much freedom and flexibility in homeschooling. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6 is you get to nurture your child's interests and talents. So, as you get to know more of how your child is wired, you'll be able to spend the time, effort, and money on what you believe will benefit your child most. Okay, so for example, if you see that your child displays an interest in art or music, then you can devote more time to nurturing these interests and talents, and you can remove things that you think may not benefit your child now. I mean, it becomes something that, is suited to your child. It doesn't have to be like because it's required, because this is what the curriculum dictates. Because if it's not something that you believe your child needs to learn now or needs to even focus on, then you can spend your time on something else. See? Isn't that great? So, yeah, you can nurture your child's interests and talents. Number 7, your child can go at his or her own pace, eliminating unnecessary stress. So you don't have to say, "Oh, bilis, bilis, hurry up," because ano na, you have to take this test, or you just have to just cram all this information and memorize because you have to pass. It doesn't work that way in homeschooling. Your child can go at his or her own pace. And in homeschooling, there need not be any comparison or competition with classmates, because your child can go at his or her own pace. It's about him or her learning. Okay, it's not competition, it's learning, okay, and enjoying the process. So if a certain lesson isn't understood yet, your child can go back to it and master it. Okay lang, it's okay, because it's about learning, about understanding. It's not so much about memorization and just cramming all this knowledge into to your child's brain, but it's about him or her understanding it and also appreciating the lesson and why it's relevant. Okay? Why it's relevant. Okay, so that's number 7. Number 8, joy of homeschool. You get to witness your child's growth and development. So you get to see how your child improves and you're able to track it. Okay? You witness her aha moments and times when learning makes her happy. You get to witness these things. Okay? And as a parent, I think brings us so much joy to see the progress of our child, to see that our child is enjoying, is learning, is making progress. Right? Okay. Number 9, joy of homeschooling. You get to have a variety of experiences because you can. So it's not just being in a classroom. It's not just sitting all day in front of a notebook, in front of a book, or in front of someone discussing a lecture. Because in homeschooling, learning is not confined to textbooks. No, that's just one of the ways, okay? Learning comes in a variety of ways, okay? And you can make it experiential. So through such things as projects, field trips, experiments, even travel, games, even going to the grocery store or taking a walk outdoors can be learning experiences. The day-to-day, seemingly mundane things that we do can actually be learning experiences for your child. And you bring so much joy and fun in normal day-to-day activities, okay? So, and in our homeschool, even as my son, was toddler pa lang, we would say, I even made a song, say that homeschool is learning everywhere. It's having fun while learning new things. Homeschool is learning everywhere. So you can make learning as fun, interesting, and engaging as you want it to be. Yes. Okay, and number 10, joy of homeschool is you get to grow as a parent. Yes, this is wonderful because you grow not just intellectually, of course, you get to learn with your child, you sharpen your mind with knowledge, but how else do you grow as a parent? Emotionally, because a lot of feelings are involved. You realize you need more patience and you have opportunities to grow in self-control. Yeah, yes. And how else do you grow? Of course, spiritually, because you realize, oh Lord, what did I get myself into? That's okay. You start to pray more. You start to see God's guidance more. You start to realize that you are so dependent on God and you need Him. So you pray more. You grow in faith and trust in the Lord. So you grow as a person. You grow as a parent. You grow as an individual. So these are just some. Yeah, there's just more. The joys of homeschooling. I outlined 10. And so now you may be thinking, okay, that's nice, well and good, but I still struggle. Yeah, I still struggle with fears and doubts, and you're probably thinking, okay, so will I really be able to do this? What if I can't teach my child properly? I don't have a degree in education. Or what if I lose my patience? What if I have no idea what I'm doing? What if I realize I am making mistakes? Okay lang yan. It's okay because everything has its challenges. And again, another disclaimer, homeschooling is not a walk in the park. There will be good days, there will be better days, there will be not so good days. Okay lang yan. There will be times when you will feel super challenged, when you will feel like, tama ba tong ginagawa ko? Okay lang. There will be times na, wow, this is a great day. It's okay. So in the next video of this free training series, this is what I'll be talking about, how to deal with these barriers and why you have what it takes to homeschool. But in the meantime, I want you to think first of all the positives. Okay, positives muna tayo of homeschooling. So ponder on these questions, okay? Number one, how might a lifestyle of homeschooling bring joy to your child, to your family, and to you? Okay, number two, how might it develop your child? Not just academically or intellectually, but as a whole person. Just think, wow, what might this do for my child? And number three, what might be the best reason for you to homeschool your child now? Okay, think about it. Okay, just ponder on these questions. And for you to be able to ponder on these questions, please download the free PDF that comes with this training along with the Joys of Homeschooling that I mentioned a while ago. So you can ponder on this even more. And then, of course, watch out for the next video training coming out in a few days. Okay? So in the comments, let me know also what was your biggest takeaway from this video. I would love to know if this helped you, if this helped you gain a little more understanding or enlightenment. Ta-da! About homeschooling. Okay, just feel free to comment. Let me know how this has helped you and also download the PDF. Okay, and ponder on these questions and all the positives of homeschooling. So this has been Mitch Nicolas. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.